What's good? In this video we are going to take a look on how to create images like these. We are going to use Octane in Blender and geometry nodes. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so let's create a new object. We choose a cube, head over to the geometry nodes and create a new geometry node tree. Okay, we can remove the group input and create a new object. So I hold down Shift and press A and type in sphere to create a new UV sphere. Okay, next is the merge by distance and dual mesh. We want to add an extrude mesh. So search for extrude mesh. Another two nodes, we need the mesh to curve node and the curve to mesh. There it is. Okay, now comes the fun part. We are going to create a new noise texture and feed it into the extrude mesh and into the merge by distance selection. Change it to 4D and remove the normalize check. And we're going to plug the extrude mesh top into the selection from the mesh curve. And since we use the curve to mesh in the end here, we can define a profile curve, and we are going to choose a curve circle for this. Curve circle and plug it into the profile curve. And now we can play around with the values. The radius is way too big, and let's decrease it. We can go even further. 0.01 makes sense here. I want to get the resolution down a bit. Let's make it 5. Okay, let's switch this one up. We are going to use a icosphere as a mesh and plug it into the merge by distance. We can delete the UV sphere. Icosphere fits better for our purposes here. And let's increase the subdivisions to something like 7. We're gonna switch things up here again. Let's use the noise texture and the offset scale, and we get something like this. We can increase the merge by distance. Let's make 0.2. And now we can start playing around with the noise texture. So if you decrease the scale, you get kind of crazy results. I think I will go with 1 or 1.1. And I want to make the whole geometry a lot thinner, so let's make this value smaller, like 0.005. Yeah, and if you like, you can add a subdivision surface in the end. And I want to decrease the thickness even more, 0.3. Yeah, that looks good. So this is the whole tree we created. It's a pretty simple geometry node setup, but you can get like really cool results with it. Make sure to play around with the noise texture, add some subdivisions on the icosphere, and play around with the whole thickness of the mesh. We are going to make it look a little bit thinner for this piece, so yeah. And you can add a subdivision surface in the end to make the whole shape a little bit rounder and smoother. Okay, cool. So let's start with the material for our object and the environment. So I'm heading over to my material tab and choose the world settings. We can delete everything here and create a new texture environment. And we only need the visible environment because we light the scene with our lights later. For the texture, I use a gray color and check the back plate. Okay, let's create a camera first so we can frame our shot here. And I'm going to get in the top view and create a new camera. Let's press G and Z to move the camera up. And we can press this little button here so we are getting into the camera view. I'm pressing G and Z again to move the camera a little bit closer. And also I'm going to change some settings on the camera for now. So focal length can be a lot higher, 120 or even higher. Let's make it 200. And we can move the camera up again. Something like this. We can also use the autofocus, it's already enabled, and increase the aperture so we get like some macro shot vibe here. Yeah, something like 14. Okay, let's create some light sources so we can see our material. I'm going to use the area light, so the Octane area light. We are going to rotate it, so I'm pressing R, X and 180. Move it down a bit and scale it up. So we don't want the light source visible for the camera, so I'm going to change the visibility, and you can just uncheck this part here where it says camera visibility. Okay, we can go into the material with the light source selected, change to object, and we can also enable the camera view. And let's decrease the power to something like 2, and we want to use some colored lights, so I'm choosing a color here. Can increase the power a bit. Let's make it 10. And we can use this light to duplicate it and create some 2 more lights. You can play around with the placement of these, but I'm going to use 2 additional light sources here with different colors. So let's get back into the material view, select the new ones, change the color, to something like this, and we can decrease the power of these lights. They're way too strong now. And there's a cool option in Octane where you can increase the saturation. So I'm heading over to the Octane setting here on the side. You can open this menu with pressing N, and the saturation slider here is really powerful. So we're going to increase it to something like 3. Yeah, and we can rotate our object. And now with the selected object, I'm pressing R twice to rotate it. And we can go to the camera again and remove the autofocus and select our object. Play around with it. Yeah, so what we can do now is rotate our object, play with the camera and see where we can find a good focus distance. Increase the aperture to get like these blurry effects. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. I think we can increase the subdivision surface, the last node in the geometry node tree, to make it even smoother. So I think 2 levels are enough for this. Okay, let's render this. Yeah, so these are some images I made with this technique, and yeah, basically you can play around with the geometry nodes, especially the noise texture, play around with the colors and the lighting, and yeah, basically endless possibilities. And what I really like about this look is the aperture from the camera, so you get like a sense of a macro shot with the blurry parts in the images. Yeah, so I hope you liked this short video. See you in the next one.